So for this video, we're going to discuss loan amortization. Okay. Now, what loan amortization is it is paying off a debt over time using equal installments. Okay. So if we have an amount that we're borrowing and we want to pay that off over a certain amount of time given particular interest constraints, then we'll make use of this loan amortization to figure out how much it's going to cost, how long we're going to expect to pay, how much we're going to pay in interest. Okay. So the formula that we're going to use for loan amortization is this one here. So PMT is P times R over N over 1 minus 1 plus R over N raised to the negative NT power. Okay? Where P is your principal, R is your rate, N is the number of times that you are going to be making a payment per year. Okay? T is the amount of time in years. And this PMT, this is the regular fixed monthly installment. Okay, so this is how much you're paying every month. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at an example of loan amortization so that we can figure out how much we're going to pay over the course of a loan and whether or not one particular loan option is better than another. So this example says, suppose that you decide to borrow $15,000 for a new car. You can select one of the following loans, each requiring regular monthly payments. Installment loan A is a 3-year loan at 5.1%, and installment loan B is a 5-year loan at 6.4%. Okay? We need to find the monthly payments and the total interest for loan A. Okay? So let's start with loan A here. So we're going to be making use of our PMT formula. So this is our regular monthly payments. Is going to be our principal, that's the amount we're borrowing, the $15,000, times, now we need our rate, so this is 5.1%, so 0.051, over, then here this is going to be 12, because we are doing this with regular monthly payments, over, then here, 1 minus 1 plus, and that's our rate again, 0.051 over 12. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So then we have 1 plus 0.051 over 12 raised to the negative NT. So here this is negative 12 times T, which here is a 3-year loan, so it's 3. Okay. So now, we'll go ahead, plug this into a calculator. So I'm just going to do that over here on my other screen. And we see that the total monthly payment is going to be approximately, this is going to round to $450. Okay? So it's $450 per month. Now it also says the total interest. Now, to find the total interest, I first need to find out if this is how much I'm paying a month, how much am I paying total? So to figure out how much I'm paying total, I'm going to take my $450 per month times 12 months in a year times 3 years for the loan. Okay. Now, when I multiply this together, this is going to get me $16,200. Okay, so this is how much I'm spending, but we want to know how much I'm paying in interest. So then I take 15,000 minus 15,000. Put on 1 too many zeros there. So now we're going to go ahead, subtract, and we find $1,200 of interest. Okay. So just to recap, I use my PMT formula here in order to find out what my monthly payment is. I then multiply my monthly payment by how many months there are in a year times how many years I have to pay it. That tells me how much in total I'm paying. If I'm paying $16,200 and the loan was $15,000, that means that I would have had to pay $1,200 worth of interest. Okay? So now let's see what it is for B. Find the monthly payments and the total interest. So I have a 5-year loan at 6.4%. Okay? So my PMT is going to be, so I plug in, same thing, principal still $15,000 for that loan, times, now my interest is 6.4%, so 0.064 over, still monthly payments, so divided by 12, over, then 1 minus 1 plus my rate, 0.064 over 12, raised to the negative 12 times, then for this one, 5. Because there are 5 years over which this is taking place. Okay. So now I go and I plug this in, and I find that this is approximately $293. Okay. So I'm going to have to spend $293 per month. Then we need to figure out what's the total interest. So here, I'm going to take my $293 per month times the 12 months per year times the 5 years, and I find that this is $17,580. Okay, so this is how much I'm spending total. So now I'm going to subtract the total amount of the loan. This will tell me how much interest I'm paying. $2,580. Okay. So if you take a look here, let's compare these two loans. So this one here gave us a lower interest rate, but it was also much lower term. What this means is that this loan gave us a very high monthly payment, whereas this one was a comparatively lower monthly payment. Okay, so this one I pay fewer times, but I pay a lot more each time. Here, I pay more times, but it's less each time. Now, overall, this one here, although it's more painful each month, I'm actually paying only $1,200 worth of interest. Over here, I'm paying over double that in interest. Okay, so just because you're given a cheap monthly payment over a long-term period, it's not necessarily going to be a smarter financial decision. So you need to figure out what is more important to you. Is an easier standard of living, that is to say, is it easier to make the payments, is that going to outweigh the larger amount that you are going to have to pay if you choose the longer term? Okay, so when you're attempting to determine which type of loan you're looking for, say, for example, when you're looking at purchasing a house, you need to check to see, well, is it making more sense for me to go ahead and do this with larger payments that I can make over a shorter period of time to save myself money in the long term? Or is it better for me to simply have these smaller payments spread out because that's actually affordable? Okay. Now, this is the wiser financial decision, but it is certainly the more difficult one to make. Okay. So be sure that you're careful when you're doing these loan amortizations, that you know how much you have to pay, how much your interest is, and you work through these. Okay. Hopefully this answers your question about the section where I'm asking you to fill out car loans. You should be able to do these making use of these loan amortization formulas. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions or you want to see any additional examples. Otherwise, see you in the next video.